In the news, Lagos State government to empower amputee single parents. Across Africa, Benin Republic President Talon wins re-election. On the global scene, Derek Chauvin's trial says use of force on George Floyd justified. France to strengthen trade ties with Nigeria. In sports, Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa returns to Kano Pillars on short-term deals. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okunade, and this is TOS News 360. The Director General of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, Mansour Matazu, has said become Nigeria's permanent representative at the World Meteorological Organization. A statement signed by Mutari Ibrahim, NIMET's General Manager of Public Relations on Tuesday in Abuja, said the appointment was in line with the provision of the general regulations of the WMO basic documents. Candidates vying for different positions at the Abuja Municipal Area Council AMAC this Wednesday picked their forms with the hope to contest, win, and represent AMAC in decision-making with vows to serve the people with diligence. TOS Television News correspondent Ifi Onyekwere has the details.
Ahead of the Abuja Municipal Area Council election scheduled to hold later this month, a young and vibrant aspirant of the platforms of the All Progressive Congress, Tonye Isokariari, has picked his nomination form to contest for the chairmanship post as he officially joins the race. Tonye promised to confront whatever lies ahead of the party.
By the grace of God, come April 22nd of this month, we will be the flag bearers of this party. And I can assure you that one of the reasons why I am here is to ensure that the change we promised Nigerians in 2015 will be entrenched at the local level. That's why I'm here, because we have not lived up to what we promised. And we must start from now on to ensure that the grassroots feel the change that we promised Nigerians. Secondly, the custodians of the party must be proud and carry their shoulders high to be members of APC. And under my watch, we will see to it that it happens like that, by the grace of God. Thirdly, we will not be part of any form of calling or name calling or of any form of thuggery. But we can assure you that we are very capable and ready to meet whatever is in front of us.
Also speaking was the Vice Chairman of APC in FCT, Patrick Ogunyemi, who expressed his view about the candidate, noted that the party must be part of the process of governance if elected.
The party must be part of the process of your selection once you win the ticket. The party must be part of it because we must look for a device who we know will be able to complement your own personality for us to be able to arrive at the foot of the bridge and cross it successfully. Now we have been monitoring movements of different aspirants, and we are not even had any idea of any problem for their camp.
Tonye, who was delighted about the event, encouraged youth to tag into the vision that he shares.
We're going to carry everybody along. You know, before now, most of the people who have voted in the area council elections, a lot of people who are non-indigens have not actually come out to vote. But now everybody's in high spirit. Everybody wants to be involved in what's going on at the local level. Because if we must build Nigeria, we must build it from the ground up. And that's what we want to do. Don't be discouraged. Get involved, participate, encourage more young people to come out, people who have competence, who have what it takes to actually lead, and who is driven by service to
President Yemi Osinbajo presided over the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the Presidential Villa, Abuja this Wednesday. This is coming at the time President Muhammadu Buhari traveled to London, the United Kingdom, for a medical checkup. At the commencement of the meeting, council members observed a minute silence in honor of a former Minister of Commerce and Industry, Mahmood Tukur. Lagos State Government on Monday said that it has taken over the welfare of Mary Daniel, the 26-year-old homeless amputee and single mother whose tragic story trended on social media platforms over the weekend. Speaking on the intervention of the state government, the special advisor to the state governor on civic engagement, Princess Aderemi Adebowale, stated that the move became necessary in order to protect the physically challenged woman from abuse and risk. According to the special advisor, Daniel, an indigene of Ayimba, Kogi State, who just moved to Lagos 2 weeks ago, hawked table water in traffic in Oshodi to earn a living, is now in temporary protective custody, pending when further plans will be concluded by the government to get her an apartment and also empower her. Now, Ogun State health workers on Tuesday condemned the high level of insecurity in the state and lamented that all parts of the state were becoming unsafe. The state chapters of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, as well as the Nigerian Medical Association, stated this in a separate interview with newsmen while explaining their decision to begin a strike at 12 midnight on Tuesday. The NANMM, in a letter to the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tommy Coker, dated April 12, hinged its decision on the kidnap of health workers in the state. The Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi on Wednesday declared that members of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB are not responsible for the attacks in the southwest. According to the governor, bandits are the ones masquerading as members of IPOB's Eastern Security Network to attack the southeast region. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. More stories in a minute. To stay tuned. Welcome back. We continue with national stories from Nigeria. Nigeria's former military administrator of Ondo and Oyo State, Colonel Ahmed Usman, has died. Ahmed Usman was born in 1951. Usman was appointed governor of Ondo State in September of 1994. While governor of Ondo State, Usman installed Oba Adeleye Orishagbemi as the Ata of Ayede Ekiti until his death. Colonel Usman was a lover and an advocate of peace and unity. Across Africa, Al-Shabaab retains parts of the countryside and carries out attacks against government, military and civilian targets in Mogadishu and regional towns. Somalia still operates under an interim constitution, and its institutions such as the army remain rudimentary, backed up with international support. The veteran diplomat and former prime minister, who lived off and on for years in the United States, has vowed to rebuild a country that was once the world's most notorious failed state and fight corruption. However, observers say he became mired in feuds with federal states in a bid for greater political control, hampering the fight against Al-Shabaab, which retains the ability to conduct deadly strikes both at home and in the region. Benin's President Patrice Talon has been re-elected with 86% of the votes, according to provisional results released by the National Electoral Commission. The Beninese Constitutional Court is expected to announce the final results of the election later. Sunday's vote took place peacefully after a campaign marked by violence. The main opposition figures, who are either in exile, barred, or have been sentenced to jail, have called for a boycott of the ballots. Now, South Africa has suspended the rollout of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine after U.S. federal health agencies recommended pausing its use because of rare cases of blood clots in combination with low platelet counts. 6 women under 50 developed rare blood clots in the United States, among more than 6 million people given the J&J shot so far. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. More stories after the break. Thank you for staying tuned. At least 20 people have died after they became trapped in a fire at a school in Niger's capital, Niamey. The fire started late on Monday afternoon when the children were attending lessons in straw classrooms. According to a teachers' union official, the flames blocked the school gates and most pupils had to escape over a wall. On the global scene, an expert has told a U.S. jury that a use of force by the former police officer accused of the murder of George Floyd was justified in pinning him to the ground. Barry Broad told the trial in Minnesota that Derek Chauvin acted with objective reasonableness. Chauvin is on trial after he knelt on Floyd's neck during his arrest last May in 2020. The resignations of a police chief and an officer who shot dead a black motorist, Dante Wright, in Minnesota have failed to end unrest over Sunday's killing. Porter said she shot Dante Wright accidentally, having mistakenly drawn her gun instead of her taser. Despite the resignation, fresh clashes between police and protesters erupted for a third night. With more than 3 million reported COVID-19 infections, the state of Maharashtra, which has Mumbai as its capital, is the stubborn epicenter of India's second wave infections. The government has been warning of a full lockdown unless cases begin to fall. On Tuesday, the government imposed stringent new restrictions to curb the virus spread, with only essential travels and services allowed until the end of April. The German federal and state health ministers have decided that people under 60 in Germany who were given the AstraZeneca vaccines as their first dose will switch to a different vaccine for the second dose. The second jab will be either the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine or the Moderna vaccine, which were a good alternative, especially in the third wave of the pandemic, Holzcheck said. The decision follows a recommendation by Germany's top vaccine authority, STIKO, at the beginning of the month. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next, business, entertainment, and sports. So stay tuned. You are watching TOS News 360. In business, as part of efforts to strengthen the trade ties between Nigeria and France, Minister in charge of Foreign Trade and Attractiveness, Frank Reister, is in Nigeria on a work visit. The visit is a follow-up on the priorities set by France President Emmanuel Macron during his official visit to Nigeria in July of 2018, and his desire to build a new partnership between Africa and France. According to a statement from the French government, as the largest economy in Africa and the economic engine of West Africa, Nigeria is indeed a major partner for France, the first in sub-Saharan Africa, with bilateral trade amounting to a total of $4.5 billion in 2019, which is $2.3 billion in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, the Nigerian gross domestic product recorded 0.11% growth in the fourth quarter of 2020. The document, which was made available to newsmen, reads in part, and I quote, "In the fourth quarter of 2020, however, growth turned positive, recording 0.11% in the fourth quarter year-on-year," end of quote. Nevertheless, the negative quarterly growth rates recorded in the second quarter and third quarter of 2020 resulted in annual growth rates of minus 1.92% for 2020 compared to 2.27% recorded in 2019. Now in entertainment, American singer Chris Brown is being sued by two of his former domestic employees over an alleged dog attack. The plaintiff, Patricia Avila, claims she and her sister were hired to clean Chris Brown's Tarzana, California home for $600 a day. She says they were aware that Chris Brown had dogs on the property, but the pets were always placed in another part of the home as they performed their cleaning duties. However, on December 12 of 2020, Avila's sister went to the backyard to empty a vacuum, during which she was immediately attacked by Brown's Caucasian Shepherd, a giant breed that weighs between 110 to 220 pounds on average. The dog allegedly jumped on the woman, ripping 3 to 4 inches of skin off her arm, as well as biting her legs and face. Now to sports, Kano Pillars Football Club have agreed to sign on Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa for the rest of the season. Idris Malikawa, the club's media officer, in a statement on Tuesday in Kano, disclosed that the club's chairman, Suraju Shuaibu, announced the deal. Shuaibu said the club management has agreed to sign Ahmed Musa for the rest of the 2020-2021 Nigeria Professional Football League season. Former Zimbabwean captain Heath Streak was slapped with an 8-year ban for corruption dating back to his coaching stints with the national team and in several 20 leagues, the game's governing body said on Wednesday. The 47-year-old admitted 5 breaches of the International Cricket Council Anti-Corruption Code and agreed the sanction, the ICC said in a statement. And that is it on TOS News for tonight, your digital first Pan-African news network. For more updates, do visit www.tostvnetwork.com to follow and like TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I remain Abigail Okwade, and thanks for watching.